think the animals back at the ranch should be all grown up by now. Finally made it.
Guess I'll polish up my sword.
This looks perfect. Guaranteed to hit the spot.
Dohalim, care if I hang out for a while?
I do believe it's about time that I retire. Shall we get moving? Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
I just noticed none of you other Danans have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Danon slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renin doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman, and this is my chance to have a new beginning.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Danon, while the Renins are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Danons in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Danons in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place.
This one will be difficult to predict.
Look sharp! Take this! Super swallow game! With the earth! Unlock my spear!
I'm not so good with airborne targets.
Take this! This one's mine!
Flying spree! Why can't they just sit still?
Can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
You're done! One more! Swallow dance! Can you take it? Eagle fly! Tiger blade! Come and get it! I'm ready!
Kisara! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life! And done!
I'm ready!
All yours, Kisara!
Everlasting dog!
Going in! Negative gate! I'm gone! Super swallow dance! You're done!
Negative fly is mine. Astral energy.
Say no more!
I feel sprightlier than before.
All right.
There's nowhere to run from my heart!
When he slows down, that's our chance!
It's like trying to keep up with the wall.
Can't get out of this! Look sharp!
Gusty nails.
That's it! First strike! Ha! That's enough! Take this! Can't get out of this! Dazzling spin! Eat darkness! That's enough! Time to shine! Super swallow dance! To be feared! Eagle, I'm on a roll now! First strike! Take this! I'll end you! Tiger blade! First... Prepare to be feared! Catapult! Piercing roll! Eagle fly! Super swallow dance! I'm on! Now I'm in the groove!
In here!
Elusive
Let's get you all
deity!
tucked away.
Piercing roll! Tornado drive! Begin!
Magic slam! Sleep now!
Tiger
Get
blade!
on in there with the others! Raging
I'll run you through! Shield!
This one's got your name on it!
Action to action!
Raging cascade! This one's
Can you take it? Does it hurt? Catapult! Super swallow dance! Catapult! Swallow dance!
Dance to the wind!
I'll end you!
In here!
Eat this!
Get on in there with
That's
the
enough!
others!
Resonate with
Make
the
it
swallow
right!
dance!
Outfit! In an instant!
Impact block!
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh?
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before. I'm intrigued.
Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Yeah. I think he might have found some old Danon relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine the sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's Danon history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course. That treasure. What a sweet-sounding ring it has.
You really think so?
So I still had room to grow. Visibility along this path will remain limited for some time. Take care not to get ambushed.
I'm surprised you know the terrain here so well. Lords don't strike me as having much time for wandering in the woods.
Sometimes I would take strolls along here when I wished to be alone.
You always did have a bad habit of disappearing without telling any of us guardsmen.
I've got a really bad feeling about this.
First strike! Look sharp! Resonate with the This one's mine!
Airborne beast, my spec.
Time to shine! What's this?
Pesky airborne scoundrel!
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
No further! Judgment Sin! Eat this!
Time to play. This one's mine.
Super Swallow Dance! Eagle Assault! Super Swallow Dance!
Tiger Blade.
In an instant!
Impact Claw! Here's the guard! First strike! That's it! Big Blast! Swallow Dance! Make it rain!
Rinwell! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis. You don't mess around.
Resonate with
Certainly not.
This one's mine!
Raging Cascade.
Swallow Dance!
Breath.
Eagle Assault!
Air thrust. Photon
This
Smash.
one's mine! Swallow Dance!
Now.
Kisara! All yours, Kisara!
Hey, I'm pretty lucky.
Seriously? Is this a joke?
Look sharp! Far enough! Eat this! I'll smash you! Begin!
It's a duel of the arts. This one's mine. My watch.
You got flyers.
I've got this. Let a marksman handle it.
All yours.
Take this! You're off! And take this! You see what happened there as you crossed me? Shouldn't have done that. Let me out of life. Super Swallow Dance! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous Claw!
Get behind me!
I never miss.
I'm on a roll now!
Much obliged.
Super Swallow Dance!
An astral art?
That's my cue.
Prepare to be sealed.
Shut him down.
Actually, perhaps downed is more appropriate.
Let's talk in more doing.
Anything in armor is all mine!
Falling All right. It's
Should have messed
showtime.
with me!
Tiger Blade.
Tornado Drive!
Now.
Rinwell! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis.
Quite necessary when creating weaponry.
It's so hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blisters.
That's mountain hiking for you. It can be pretty tough if you're not used to these sorts of trails.
I take it you're comfortable with them then?
Oh yeah. We used to run up and down these slopes all the time for our training exercises.
Damn. You weren't messing around. It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out.
Stay calm. I shall provide assistance.
Dance in the wind! Air thrust!
Snake could be a clear for us attack.
Our next turn coming through!
Rising Wyvern! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! First strike!
We're in the home stretch now.
What'd she say? Eyes on the prize.
That focus goes double for you, Law.
Me? How come I get singled out? I'm just getting smart. Hey! Blow them away! How's that?
Acceptable.
Rising Wyvern! Devastation!
May 1,000
Rising
heals carry
Fusion!
the
It's
coming
already!
through.
Burn!
Resonate with the earth!
I'm on it!
Stalagmite!
Our weapons are the sword and... Fists and...
Staff.
And you ruined it. Oh man, I hope I live long enough to regret this.
Don't mind if I do.
Swallow dance! Take it! Dragon Swarm! Rising Wyvern!
All right, it's showtime. In here. Arch Field.
Orochi's Fury! Dragon
Dragon
Swarm!
All right, it's now.
Hey! Blow them away! How's that?
This one's mine.
Stalagmite! You're finished! On your side! It's showtime!
Tempest Whirl.
Swallow dance! Air power! Hey! Blow them away!
Bestow thy
Field.
I'm not done! You're finished!
very certain.
Leave the enemy's arch to
Don't
me.
suffer in silence.
Wow, that was a nice move there.
I know, right? Bet you couldn't do it.
So it's a grab here, thrust the left leg, then use the right arm to leverage over.
Stop memorizing my move!
An opponent like this should be easy.
Can't get out of this!
No escape! Eat this! Dragon
Don't mind if I
With
do.
the earth!
Dragon Swarm!
Leave the agile one to me.
Here.
I shall ensure you survive this.
Rising Falcon! No escape! First strike!
Resonate with the earth!
Dragon Shout! No escape!
Too much to handle.
Dragon Swarm! Orochi's Fury! Do it! Only in an instant! Impact Block! We work well together.
Like a finely timed roll.
You're mine!
No further!
Try harder!
Denied.
Take this! I'm not done! Rising Wyvern! Devastation! Rising Falcon!
One more. Here goes.
Negative gate!
Take this! I'm not done! Orochi's Fury! Dragon Swarm! Rising Wyvern! Devastation!
Now.
I'm not done!
All yours, Kisara!
Vanquish Guardian.
Dragon Shout! Dragon Swarm!
Divine. With this, I can become even stronger.
This looks nice and tough.
more Danon runes here too, I see.
What were people even thinking back then? Trying to build anything around here.
Maybe they just had that much time and energy on their hands.
Gotta break through! Take this! Resonate with the earth!
This one's mine!
I'll finish you here and now! Erosion Fury! Dragon Swarm! Rising Weapon! Fluid Kick!
Demon's Descent!
Flashing Fang!
Easy! Way to go!
Here I come! You're mine!
Mercy.
Come and face me! Dragon Swarm!
Allow me to help.
Is that a healing art?
It is.
River!
Astral Energy!
Say no more!
Elusive Deity.
1,000 years period of dread!
Orochi Fury! Do it! Rising
Neon!
Weapon!
Astral Energy! Full throttle!
Wow! Look what I just found.
I sure have built up a sweat with this hike.
Rest assured, we have reached the top. It's all downhill from here, quite literally.
So Mahag Sar's just up ahead then?
Indeed. If you look, across this mountain is the Lord's Keep.
What's this place here?
Retreat if you know what's good for you.
I'm not done! Begin! Follow dance!
Doesn't hurt? Now you see what I can do!
Mind if I do?
Rising Wyvern!
I'm on a roll now!
Devastation!
Thunderfield!
Rising Falcon!
Raging Hurricane!
Eat this! Come one, come all! Rising Wyvern!
An admirable display of force.
An admiral? I can't even swim.
Never mind.
Negative gate!
This one's mine!
On your shield!
This one's got your name on it!
Action to action!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
Gotta break through! You're mine! Strike!
Here! I never miss!
Rising Wyvern! With the earth! Breaking Falcon! Damn it!
I'm on a roll now!
I'm not done!
Photon, blah, blah, blah.
Begin.
Sleep now. Get on
Take
your
this!
The enemy wields us too.
Rising
We'll soon
Wyvern!
see about that.
Orochi Fury! Take this!
Should have messed with me!
Orochi Fury! Rising Wyvern! Devastation! We did it! I'm not done!
Go get him!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Eat this!
Orochi Fury!
Just getting started!
Rising Wyvern! Tear!
Go away!
Rising Falcon! You're finished!
Rise and rest!
I'm not done! Orochi Fury! Dragon
ready.
Swarm!
Dohalim!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
My exploits are bearing fruit.
it out of this! Here I come!
Sleep now.
It's so far enough! Resonate with the earth! The last one! I'm on a roll now! Orochi Fury!
I can do this all
Dragon
day.
Swarm! Rising Wyvern! Blue Escape!
Seal.
Here I come!
Get out
Blue
of here.
Escape!
Benediction
Orochi Fury!
I'm on a roll now. It's showtime. Huddle.
Rising Wyvern! Devastation!
Lightning conduct. Thunderblade.
Elusive deity! It's time!
Now.
Debut performance! Dragon Swarm! Resonate with the earth! Blue Escape! Stalagmite! Super Swallow Dance! Orochi Fury! Rising Wyvern! I'm ready! Hurricane!
Astral energy.
Say no more!
Lady Fortune must truly be watching over me.
I'm like bait to them! Here I come! Can't get out of this!
Ready to go.
Begin!
Not on my watch. Our expert coming through. Raging
Elusive
storm.
deity.
All right. It's
Rising
showtime.
Wyvern! Resonate with devastation!
Light
Blue
astral
Escape!
energy.
Eat this! You're mine! Orochi Fury!
Lightning orb.
Dragon
Dance in the
Swarm!
wind.
Rising Wyvern!
Hit.
You're mine! Not today! Resonate with the earth! You're mine! Strike!
Ray confiscated.
You're mine! Strike! Orochi Fury! Rising Wyvern! Devastation! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! I'm on it! Take this! Blue Escape!
Here.
Eagle Dive! Dragon Swarm! Rising Wyvern! Devastation! Eating pile
It's
driver!
showtime.
Take this!
Now.
Done!
Demon's descent.
Flashing Fang!
Easy. Way to go.
Blue Escape! I'm ready!
Astral energy.
Say no more!
Small, but a victory nonetheless.
We have a long way yet to go.
This'll make us even more. More formidable.
Through these lands most verdant green, my eyes alight for sights unseen. In Menancia, pure and pristine.
What is it you see exactly?
That's not for me to say.
Gone! Blue Escape! Everlasting dark! Orochi Fury! Negative gate! Dragon Swarm! Stalagmite! Strike! It's time! Mystic Mercy! Rising Wyvern! Devastation!
Hey, that...
Why, thank you, your lordship.
And will you lay down your life for your lord?
Well, I mean, hey, let's not be hasty. I'm not done! Resonate with the earth! I'm not done! You're
Not
finished!
on my watch.
I'm ready! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
May 1,000
Your
gales tear you to
body!
shreds.
I'm just getting closer!
50 nails.
Dragon Swarm! Tornado Rising Wyvern! First devastation! Blue Escape!
Shining supernova. Radiant.
Do
Do it.
Chitara! All yours, Chitara!
May 1,000 gales tear you to shreds.
mercy!
Astral energy! Full throttle! We won that by a mile!
Retreat if you know what's good for you.
Going in!
Fury!
Lightning orb!
Dragon form!
I got it! Dance in the wind!
Rising Wyvern!
Get on in there together!
Rotating pilot!
Raging Tempest!
You're mine! Blue escape!
now.
Negative gate!
On
Dragon form! Rising Wyvern! Air pressure!
now.
It's
Get on
over!
in there with the others!
Take this! Ignite! We did it! Not a chance! Strike! Rising Wyvern!
Any more of this and I'll burn out.
Thank you.
You say it as though you're surprised.
It'll take a bit to get used to.
Fury! Dragon form!
Lightning condemned!
Rising Wyvern!
Thunder blade!
Take care!
Into everlasting darkness.
Negative
Fury!
gate!
Resonate with the
Dragon form!
I'm ready!
Kisara!
Commander of Heavens!
Phoenix Cyclone!
With this, I can become even stronger.
Retreat if you know what's good for you.
Where are you going?
Going in!
Negative gate! Take this! On
Fury!
Wait!
air pressure!
It's wet!
Dragon form!
I'm ready!
Come on! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Do you think we'll be okay to keep going?
I make no guarantees. Discourteous, aren't you?
Take this!
Here's going!
Rising Wyvern!
With the
Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Judgment spin!
Dragon form! Rising Wyvern! Devastation! Rising Falcon!
Time to blind streak! I never miss!
Ocean Fury!
Steel!
Dragon form!
Let's get you!
Rising Wyvern! Take this! Strike!
Resonate with the
Dragon
earth!
form!
I think we can get through this.
Don't let up until it's over.
Who said anything about letting off?
Take this!
I'm ready!
Done!
Law! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Dance in the wind!
Resonate with the earth!
Ocean Fury! Dragon form!
Magic
Rising
attack!
Wyvern!
Take that! Let the marksman handle this! More for the stockpile!
I still got a ways to go.
Let's see what you've got.
You're mine!
Like moths to the flame.
Begin! Commander of Heaven! Phoenix Cyclone!
Did it! Yeah! Nice technique!
Going in! Resonate with the earth!
Not on my watch!
Tidal Blade!
Dragon Swarm! I'm ready! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Raging
Not a
Cascade!
chance! Not a chance!
Falling Storm!
No escape! Dragon
Make it
Swarm!
right!
Remote!
Astral Energy!
Say no more!
Good to know my training is paying off.
Like moths to the flame!
No escape!
Denied! Appreciate
Thank you for that.
Rising Wyvern!
Well,
Flying freak! Why can't they just sit still?
Sia, can you take care of that?
No sooner said than done!
Dragon Swarm!
Blah blah blah, that's
Rising Wyvern!
These enemies aren't near!
Johali!
All yours, Kisara!
We did it!
Magnificently done.
This one mind if I do! Raging Cascade!
Resonate with
Blade!
the earth!
Spread!
Orochi Fury!
Falling Storm!
Rising Wyvern! Devastation! I'm not done! I'm ready! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Dance in the wind! In here!
Here I come!
Let's get you all
Orochi Fury!
Wait!
How much longer will our healing arts last?
Guess I misread the landing. Still thinking about how to act around Dohalim?
That obvious, huh? Except I don't think I'll be changing much after all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to stay his servant. However, I am going to treat him like a fellow comrade, the same way I would with you or anyone else. For as long as I can remember, I've spent my life protecting others. But isn't that what friends do too? Support and protect one another in times of need?
Which in the end pretty much means doing as you've always done, right? If that's what you're most comfortable with, I'm certainly not going to give you any grief over it.
Actually, I've been thinking about how I ought to act around you all as well.
Oh?
When I set out on this journey, it was to rid Eldaman and Sia of its enemies, and search for wisdom in the outside world. Wisdom that I could potentially put to use on my return. I'm grateful to you all for letting me tag along. But it got me thinking, what am I actually contributing by being here?
What are you talking about? You know how to hold a weapon, don't you? That's help enough.
Is it though? Sometimes I wish there was more I could be doing to pull my...
Oops, sorry about that. Jeez, I'm famished.
Now that you mention it, what do you guys normally do for food and meals when you're out and about on your travels?
What do you mean, what do we do? We find stuff to eat and eat it. So long as it's meat, I'm not fussy.
Eating what you like can be good for morale in the short term, but you need to think about your diet if you want to stay healthy.
Does that mean eating vegetables too?
Isn't that obvious?
It does, which I guess hasn't been happening up till now.
Yeah, to be honest, we could be eating better than we do.
Understood. In that case, I'll just have to make sure you're all staying healthy and eating right myself. Fortunately, I happen to know a thing or two about cooking as well.
You hear that, Law? Sounds like you'll be eating your greens after all.
What is it?
No, sorry, it's just... I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on all this.
It will do her good to have a project.
No, not Kisara. I meant you. Was there anything you wanted to add?
Me? Certainly you're not looking to me for culinary skill, I hope.
Typical Renan, leaving everything to someone else.
Rinwell, I don't think...
That said, should you need my skills on the battlefield, please rest assured I have no intention of shirking my responsibilities, regardless of who we may face.
I'm sure no one doubts that. Listen, guys, if we're traveling together, we should probably at least try to make an effort to get to know one another, don't you think?
I wouldn't get your expectations too high in that regard. Believe it or not, sometimes I'm not sure I even know myself all that well.
Something wrong? You look like you're deep in thought.
Not exactly. I was merely thinking about you two and your sense of etiquette.
Oh?
Etiquette?
Indeed. To be quite frank, I find your lack of manners to be nigh intolerable.
That's not being frank, that's being and forget it. Do we really need to talk about this now?
Yes, I find such impropriety on your parts to be deeply unsettling. It concerns me greatly.
What do you want us to do? We were slaves. We never got to learn how to be proper like you.
Yeah, what he said. Maybe you missed how we were just focused on surviving.
Perhaps, but Kisara here demonstrates that it's quite possible for a Denon to learn proper manners.
That's because I was given the opportunity to learn. Moreover, my duties as a guardsman required it. Not every realm is like Menancia, as you well know.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to hold us to some other city standards.
Exactly. You've got to remember what it's been like for us living under the Rena elsewhere.
I will concede that you do indeed make a valid point. It would appear, for all my espousing the virtues of equality between our peoples, I was still looking down on the two of you.
You don't need to beat yourself up. I wasn't that offended by what you said, man.
Nevertheless, I shall mind my words from here on out. Having said that, I do believe you two would still benefit from learning the basics of proper society. I would be more than happy to teach you both when we camp out, if you like.
Yeah, no, I'll pass. Acting all prim and proper isn't really my style.
If you say so. How about you, Law? Would you like to learn? Although I suppose my first task is to reform your attitude toward the idea of good etiquette.
You're not gonna let this go, are you?
We've reached our destination.
What's that big tower over there?
I think the animals back at the ranch should be all grown up by now.
I'm impressed how well balanced this thing is. Guess I'll polish up my sword.
Dohalim, your spare bracers were getting dirty, so I polished them up along with the rest of your equipment.
Why, thank you, Kisara. I greatly appreciate that.
Maybe it's just my imagination, but you sure seem to fuss over Dohalim a whole lot, Kisara.
It is a little strange. Almost like you're still in his service.
Really? That's certainly not my intention. Besides, he's not the only one I'm like that with. Hey, Law, I saw your clothes were starting to get holes in them, so I stitched them back up for you.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Kisara.
Point taken. Do you just like looking after people?
I wouldn't go so far as to say I like it, but I get anxious if I don't. I'd always like to help if I can. It comes naturally to me. Back in the day, Miguel and I used to look after the younger kids a lot, so that's probably where it comes from. He taught me everything I know, and I mean everything. How to cook with wild plants, how to sew clothes so they'll last. Without him, we never would have been able to survive.
However, you're not a lord anymore, Dohalim. You need to get used to the idea that people aren't just going to wait on you hand and foot.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I'm ashamed to admit that I felt no qualms about her doing all that for me. As both a Renin and especially as a lord, one becomes too accustomed to those beneath you tending to your every need, both Renins and Danins alike.
Sure, that's how all you Renins are probably raised. But just to be clear, we're not your servants, Dohalim. Got that?
Absolutely. Moments such as this provide me with ample opportunity to confront my unease. It is difficult to tend with my own motivations.
What do you mean?
The truth of the matter is that my espousal of coexistence in Menancia hardly came from an idealistic place. That instinctive unease I feel deep within serves as a reminder for what it is that all of us here fight for.
Don't be so hard on yourself. No one's going to abandon you if you aren't always perfect.
Looking at her now, I think she's more like his mom than his servant.
Thanks for waiting. Eat as much as you like.
Kisara, let's talk for a bit. Maintaining your shield? It's becoming a familiar sight.
Miguel was the one who taught me how to maintain my equipment after I first joined the Guard. Now, it's just a part of my routine.
Your brother always seems to come up whenever I talk to you.
That's because we had no other relatives, so it was just the two of us growing up. He was my idol, the one I looked up to and wanted to be like. When I became a guardsman, Lagiel wasn't too pleased to see me at first. It was Miguel who really welcomed me aboard.
Lagiel? Oh, right. She was Miguel's second in the Gold Dust Cats, wasn't she?
That's right. She's always been a very critical and down-to-earth person. In other words, the complete opposite of a dreamer like me.
You're more an idealist than some pie-in-the-sky dreamer.
Even so, that's my brother's doing. He'd never let me stop seeing a brighter world. He always did what he could to keep me smiling and happy.
You must have meant a lot to him.
He wasn't just kind either. He always worked so hard to set an example for me and everyone else around him. He was a true big brother. So much so that when he thought I was asleep, he'd slip out of the house to go training on the outskirts of town.
You seem to know a lot about it.
That's because I only pretended to be asleep and would follow after him. You know what? I'm at a good stopping point with my shield. If you've got time, how about I tell you a couple more Miguel stories?
I guess I'd better get comfortable.
I'll take watch tonight. It's okay. Before we go, do you guys have everything?
Not this way, I guess.
Ensure you survive this. You're mine! No escape!
Where are you going?
pesky airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
You're mine!
The enemy wields ours too.
You'll soon see about that.
Rising Wyvern! All-Rock Serpent! Devastation! You're on! You're finished! Here I come! No escape!
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare the Malachor!
New melody! You're finished!
Can you take
Dragon Swarm!
So I still had room to grow.
Hey, let's stop for a minute.
What's up? You already tired?
My armor's pretty heavy. I think I need a little rest.
I second that. All of this walking is starting to take its toll on me as well.
What? You don't look it.
We can't spare the time. There's places we need to be. Mahag Sar's capital, Niez, is our destination right now.
But if one of us collapses, it will only serve to slow us down. And in your case, Alphen is the only one who could carry you. Best to rest while you have the opportunity.
Enough already! I need a break, so we're taking one.
I don't need you fretting over me.
Fretting? Hey, it's not like I'm...
Been looking for you.
For me? Why?
He's tough.
Who are you? You said you were looking for me. Why?
Beautiful, precious life.
What the...
That is all I desire.
Then why are we fighting? Who even are you?
Take this!
Take this!
Piercing roar! Far enough!
Stop it!
Look sharp! Look sharp! This one's mine!
Who the hell are you? Bastard!
This guy's not normal.
His speed is unbelievable.
You mean he even surpasses a lord?
Take it harder! Now!
Bestow thy
Can't be not in your dreams.
enjoy.
Tiger blade!
Bestow thy
Rising Warrior!
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You say that they were surprised.
It'll take a bit to get used to.
Take this! Orochi Fury!
Liquid sharpness.
Dragon
This
Swarm!
one's mine! Flaming meteor!
Try harder! My turn! No
Divine
escape!
strength.
It's over! Air pressure!
On guard!
Take this.
Shattering
Enjoy.
pieces! Attack time!
Stay away from my friend!
This one's mine.
Beyond can't get out of this!
Wind astral energy.
Take this!
Take this.
Head to the wind.
From beyond,
Here.
imbued with vengeance!
Is this it?
Resuscitation!
Blah blah blah.
I have to train harder. Piercing
Raging
roar!
storm.
Is that all that you've got? Very well. Then die. A wretch like you? Till next time.
Shion, wake up, please!
Alphen?
Shion!
Thanks, but you're kinda crushing me.
Sorry.
It's okay. And so am I. It's not as bad as it looks.
Not bad. That's... Shion, we thought
I'm
you were...
fine. Really.
What the hell were you thinking?
Well, you were trying to protect me too, you know.
Yeah, but I have the sword. It's different.
It's not different. Besides, Never mind. It's nothing. Anyway, thank you.
But I didn't... Look, I'm just glad that you're...
Alphen?
Sorry.
That guy said he'd be back. I think maybe we should get moving before he returns, right?
Rinwell has a good point. We need to go. Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I already applied some healing arts to it. It didn't even leave a scar.
But his sword went nearly straight through you.
I'm all right. Unless I've turned into some kind of ghost and I'm haunting you all right now.
No, I know you're not. It's just...
Look, I appreciate you looking out for me, but I'm fine, really.
There was also that strange light that appeared when Shion was stabbed. It seemed to make the enemy retreat when he saw it. Alphen, do you have any idea what it might have been?
A light? I don't know. I was kind of preoccupied with other things at the time.
Now that I think of it, between that light and the blazing sword, just what sort of person are you, Alphen? Can you use Danon astral arts like Rinwell, perhaps?
He wouldn't know, Dohalim. He doesn't have any memories from his past, remember? Besides, we should really be getting out of here.
I suppose you're right. Forgive me. We've almost reached Nias, the capital of Mahag Sar. With any luck, we'll find a place there for Shion to rest. Hey.
How are you holding up after that last fight? You're not too hurt, are you?
I'm fine, really. See for yourself.
If things get too tough out there, go ahead and fall back. I can take a beating if I need to.
I'm not here just to stand around and have everyone protect me.
I get that, but there's nothing wrong with admitting you have weaknesses too.
Do I look like I'm just trying to put on a brave face to you?
I can't feel pain. But you still can, can't you?
Look, I appreciate you're trying to look out for me, but even you go down in fights from time to time. Please, stop trying to babysit me. It's getting old.
It's not that. I just...